Hey there guys, this is Slamzoran, aka YouTube's Tosuke. It's pretty much all I got. I don't know how else to start this, to be perfectly honest. Today I'm going to talk about a game that you might be aware of, because it's relatively new, called Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. The original plan was to talk about this game when the announcement hit, do my usual, my thoughts on the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity announcement or whatever. But I forgot to record a video of that for the channel, at least. I did talk about it on the podcast. I think we talked about it a couple times, actually. But yeah, I kind of forgot to mention it on this here channel. And the problem is, it took so long for me to realize that I had forgotten to talk about it that not only did we have a playable demo for the Switch, because yes, this game is on the Switch for those of you who couldn't tell, but also the game actually came out. It's been out since November 10th of 2020. I'm recording this on January 6th, 2021. Happy New Year, by the way. But yeah, I wanted to at least talk about this game in some form. At this point, obviously I'm not going to do my thoughts on the news announcement, because I feel like, it's not like Lego Star Wars, to where I kind of caught it before the game came out, even though we had other trailers and stuff. So the actual announcement itself was old at that point. But here, the game's already come out, and there's a way for people to play it anyway if you don't want to buy the game yet, because with the demo. So I figured I'll just do a general impressions, kind of like what I did with Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I don't know if I'm going to review it, because for one thing, I'm still kind of on this weird burnout of the Warriors games. After playing Dynasty Warriors 9 and Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate, for some reason, it's been really dragging to play the Warriors games lately. Hopefully that'll change by the time Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires comes out. I do have the game now. I did buy it, so I'll be ready to play it at some point. But for right now, I just kind of want to focus on other things. Plus, in regards to doing a review in general, I don't really particularly like talking about the exact same game multiple times. I'll do it rarely with something like Dark Souls 2, for example, where we had the announcement trailer, and then we had a bit of silence, and then a gameplay trailer. And then I'll do a full-on review. And of course, with that one, that was a review commentary, to where it was a live review. And the same thing will probably happen with Elden Ring whenever we get that gameplay reveal and then the game comes out. But here with a Warriors game, you kind of know what you're going to be expecting for the most part. This game is a little bit different than the Hyrule Warriors that came before it. It varies slightly, but I'll get into that as I talk about the demo, at least. That's what I'm going to mainly talk about here. I'm going to be talking about my experiences with the demo. And I'll also talk about sort of what I think about the game in general. So, yeah. So, to start off with, I really like the Breath of the Wild world, so I was definitely happy that we are getting another sort of game in that world. I don't particularly know if I needed to see the actual war that preceded Breath of the Wild. That's kind of what this is. There's a bit of a twist on it based on what I've played from the demo. Again, I haven't played the full game yet, so bear with me on that. And I'll get into sort of what I know so far from playing the demo. And there'll be some sort of new content that I wouldn't have seen as I'm playing the demo, because I'm just gonna play the demo from where I left off and whatnot. So it'll be oh, I should have mentioned that in the video, but no. Also, let me know how I sound in this video, because I'm using a new preamp that I got for Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way. I got the what's it called? The Pulson is what it's called. It's actually a pretty small preamp. But what's cool about it is that it has a headphone jack built into it, which is something I've wanted for a while. One issue I'm kind of noticing with it right now, though, is that I have to turn the phantom power on manually. It doesn't just start up whenever I start up whatever machine I'm using to record this, being my laptop, for example. I have to manually turn on the 48-volt phantom power, which I need for my MXL 990 microphone, which is a condenser microphone, which I use to do all these videos with, and several other projects. The iSkull works fine. I know I mentioned that I had some issues with it last time, but it seems to be working fine with some driver stuff. But it is nice having sort of like a newer, sort of fancier preamp. I know at this point I should probably think about getting an actual interface, and maybe I will in the future. But right now I'm fine with using just like the preamps because they're a bit more. They're better for my space anyway, because I don't really have like a good recording area. Once I have my own general setup, I may look into getting like the Scarlet or whatever it's called. But anyway, let's focus on the actual game here. Let's not derail things too much. But yeah, basically, for those of you who don't know, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is a Zelda Dynasty Warriors game set in the Breath of the Wild universe, taking place during the Age of Calamity war, or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's basically that war that you hear about during Breath of the Wild, and maybe they'll talk about it in Breath of the Wild 2 at some point. But as far as what I think of the idea of the game and the announcement, I was happy about it because I do like the Hyrule Warriors. I like that last one at least, and I'm happy to get another one. I almost would have preferred it a more sort of neutral Zelda world, kind of like what they did with Hyrule Warriors. I sort of liked how it was sort of like an amalgamation of the different sort of types of Zelda games, and based on the DLC characters as well as like costumes and whatnot, you could actually sort of take pieces from other Zelda games and kind of put it into the game, as well as they did like updated versions of said things and kind of played around with things. Like I remember young Link, he used like the two-handed sword because they were taken specifically from Majora's Mask. That was kind of a nice touch with the Fierce Deity mask and whatnot. That being said, given what this piece in the Breath of the Wild lore is, I feel like it kind of makes sense if they were to do a game, to do a Warriors-like game, because if it's supposed to be a giant war story, then like having like these big battles, it kind of makes sense for what this game is trying to do. So that's I was happy that we were getting another one, but at the same time, personally, I would have maybe preferred almost a sequel to Hyrule Warriors versus a prequel to Breath of the Wild. Though, that being said, like I said before, there's a bit of a twist. As far as I know, again, I haven't played the full game, so as far as I know, they could be retconning this whole thing. But based on the demo, which they released, which was nice, because then it gives us a way to sort of test the game out for those who want to, give it a try before they buy it. And also just if you like, because I like having, for my handheld systems, I like having demos of different things. So if I'm ever on like a trip, or if I ever just want to play something like just really quickly, I can kind of pop in that. So I might actually keep the demo. I'm not sure yet. But it opens with this tiny little octopus terminal laser looking thing that gets sent through a portal seemingly either right after the aftermath of the big war, or during the part where, after spoilers, Ganon has wrecked everyone's shit, and maybe it's during the part before Link actually gets to Ganon's castle. But he gets sent into seemingly the past, this little creature. And so he keeps making all these beeps and boops, and I think he actually shows up like a little telegraph thingy or something. I remember he like activate. I know I'm saying he, but like it's a robot. So it like turns on one of the towers or something. I believe it's been a while since I played this part of the demo, which was like the first mission. So the story beats, I don't exactly remember, but it's during like a skirmish. You start off playing as Link, but you then get the ability to switch between Link and Impa. Impa's a completely separate character this time around. She's not like a Jahodun sort of like type of character with her big, large sword. She uses like these like ninjutsu talisman things, I think. She's played off as more of probably like how she should be played. She's more of like a mystic kind of character, from what I can tell. But other than that, gameplay generally is about the same. Link in particular actually plays almost exactly like he does in Hyrule Warriors. Obviously, they kind of change up the sort of some of the stuff. Like they give you the Sheikah Slate, like little bomb thingies, and you can do the cube things. The arrows I wasn't really too keen on at all, to be honest, because you aim with the. I played it primarily in handheld mode, so you aim with the Wiimote, and then like I think you have to like hold the button down to do the arrows, and like you let it go, and then that's when it fires the arrows, or either it's on like a weird timeline. It's not really intuitive. I think it's kind of strange in my opinion. I feel like it's not really set up very well, and I feel like that I would almost prefer sort of like maybe what they could have done is had to where like you shoot an arrow, then you shoot another arrow really fast, and then you do the because it's like a flurry of arrows that you shoot. I think what's it called? That they have like that finisher strike that you can do. I think both types of Muso attacks are back, I believe, because I remember Hyrule Warriors, the first one was, as far as I recall, the only Warriors game to have both sort of like the rush hyper Muso attack from Samurai Warriors, and then have like the traditional big smash attack from Dynasty Warriors, which was kind of cool because you got like sort of like a mix of both worlds if you were using Hyrule Warriors as sort of a gateway into the Warriors games, which I thought was a nice touch. If I recall correctly, once I record the gameplay of this, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Or I was totally fucking wrong. But another thing that's I'm a little surprised I'm disappointed in, because I'm pretty sure this is how it worked in Hyrule Warriors 1 as well. You can't jump, or rather you can't naturally jump. You do like the little dash forward thing, and of course Link, he can run real fast and stuff, and I don't think you have a horse in the game. I don't remember, but you do have a jump attack that you can do where you like do like this, like you jump on something and you jump off. It's like a little partial triangle jump, and you go and you do your little cool thing with your sword, and that was kind of fun. Like the game itself is actually pretty fun. It's set up similar to how Hyrule Warriors was, to where you have the bases, and then like you have the amount of enemies you defeat, and then you have to fight like sort of like the big boss to like take over the base or whatever, from what I remember. So it plays pretty dang similar to how it was before, and You start off with Link in his knight armor, which I think he looks pretty cool here. I assume probably down the line you'll get his blue outfit, maybe. It's hard to say. I haven't looked up any other videos of this game, so I don't even know what all the playable characters are besides the ones that are on the cover, which are sort of like those rulers of the world. Those characters kind of make sense, and they're all characters that I imagine everyone would want to play. The 4 champions, as I am being told by the Wikipedia page, because I have it open right now. That being said, speaking of playable characters, I don't know if Ganon's playable. My first thought's maybe. I know it's sort of like a nonsense answer, but it's hard to say, because with this version of Ganon, I don't think he has a human form. Again, I could be completely wrong. This is just sort of like a general like first impressions of the game. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm not really that far in the demo at all. The demo seems to kind of last a while. And you have like the world map that you can go to, and it has that stuff. So it seems like they're doing kind of what Hyrule Warriors did before, where like there's no like big world map or anything, as far as I can tell. Because I know some of obviously Dynasty Warriors 9 did that, and Warriors of Orgy 4 didn't do that, which was actually kind of useful. But who knows? I was definitely having a fun time playing it. I didn't play through an entire stage in one day though, because like I said, I'm kind of at a point now to where like I kind of need to space out the Dynasty Warriors games, or the Warriors games rather, whenever I play them, because there were so many came out this generation, or at least so many came out that I wanted to play, because I know I didn't play all of them. I obviously didn't play the One Piece one, or think there might have been another one that I didn't play. But, I played the Berserk one, and I obviously play, the Samurai Warriors, Spirit of Sonata, and Samurai Warriors 4, and Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, and Warriors of Orochi 4 Ultimate, and Dynasty Warriors 9, and all that. And Dynasty... and Dragon Quest here. I was about to say Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. Like, no, I played that on... I tried it on PS4, but I mainly played that on PS3, but then also Dragon Quest Heroes 1 I played, and Dragon Quest Heroes 2 I haven't played much of it, though. But, and then even including, like, Fate Extella, which are, like, made by a different company, but, are Dynasty Warriors clones, and, things like this one and Hyrule Warriors as well, where it's, like, it's not a clone, or it's an officially made clone. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But, yeah, at this point, I'm kind of having to space it out. So, although I do have the game, it's probably going to be a while before I play it. As I'm recording this, I got the email that East 9 Monstrum Nox is going to ship pretty soon, because it's coming out February 2nd. Holy crap, I can't believe it's coming out that soon. We have a demo of that as well that I downloaded and played, but yeah, at this point, I mean, if you guys want me to do a review, let me know, and I'll consider doing one. You'll have to give me some time. With reviews, I tend to kind of take a while, because I kind of try to play through a game completely, or at least to the story completion. And I go at my own pace, so it might be a while. But if you guys actually want me to review it, like in total, or if you just want to know what I think about a later part of the game, or if you want me to stream it or whatever, let me know and we can figure something out. But for the time being, that's pretty much all I got on this game. Overall, so far, it's a pretty good game. Again, I don't know if I necessarily needed a game set in this world and this time period. I am definitely very glad that we have it, though, because again, I did really like Breath of the Wild, and I still need to finish that too. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't really like the bow and arrows, though I don't plan on using those very much. Impa took some time to get used to, but I was able to play as her relatively well. I feel like I got her weapon wrong, though, but of course it's been a while. That's what I would probably get for not recording my thoughts on something right after playing it or shortly after playing it, because it's been like a month or a couple months since I played the demo. But I'll play it again when I record the footage, and then I'll maybe have an addendum in the comments if I notice something that I missed. And also, again, let me know how I sound here, because I'm using the new Pulson preamp. One thing I've noticed so far is that it has a little bit more bass to my, as opposed to my Blue Mike's Icicle. And I think the general volume of it's going to be a little different, so sorry if it's a little louder than it needs to be. I don't know, maybe that's beneficial. And I also noticed that I can actually hear myself when I'm recording, which I don't know if I necessarily need that. There's a lot of necessarily not needed things here. But, and by a lot I mean two. But, yeah, so far it's a pretty fun game. I'll try to eventually get to playing through the regular game myself. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And let me know if you want to see more of this game. I'd be happy to do a full review on it, or even stream it. Or if the game is multiplayer and you want to play the game with me, then, we can do that as well. I don't think the game's multiplayer. I feel like this game should be multiplayer. This would be something, because the Warriors games I do have fun playing with online and with friends. When you're playing with someone in the same room, it can get kind of difficult because of the split screen. With Hyrule Warriors 1, AJ and I played a fair amount of that, and that was actually pretty easy because I played on the TV and he used the Wii U gamepad, which was pretty useful. Whereas here, that's going to be hard to do. Oh, I should also note that the game definitely seems to play a lot faster, like the movements and whatnot. I don't know if it's a frame rate thing, but Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U definitely felt a little slower. This one feels like it kind of picked up the pace a little bit, because I know they also released Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, called it the Definitive Edition or whatever, and they included some extra stuff. I was fine with the Wii U version, so I didn't bother buying the Switch version, because I was happy with what I had. But It does seem like they definitely are using, at the very least, the Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition engine, and the graphics seem to be taken straight out of Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't really too many new assets. There are probably going to be some because they have to, for any characters that didn't show up in the original game in a flashback. But for like certain characters, it's like they're probably taking or at the very least they were made very closely in the style. Like, I don't know, maybe they had like the same sort of like art, same sort of art direction or whatever. But yeah, so far seems pretty fun, and I'll get to it at some point in the future. I need to finish River City Girls first, though. But, we'll see. But yeah, pretty fun game so far. This is Flamzeron, aka YouTube Sasuke, signing out, and see you later.